Hey, hon. I thought I should show you what I'm doing because I feel like I'm always doing something random and you can see. So, let's see. Okay, so um, to play BeatSaber, that game where I swing my arms around, you can make custom levels, and I've just been using like an AI to generate some. Okay, and then the problem with them is it does the notes, but they're very dark. They don't have any lights in the game initially. So then um, you can go into this, and so this is a list of some of the songs that I've made. And if I take, I don't know if there's one I haven't done yet, but if you take these in this program called ChromMapper, which is called, it's Unity essentially. You can see here. Okay, so it's got like the song and stuff, and then if you click on one of these, see how this says open editor. Okay, you can come in here, and so this is the notes track for the game, and this is the lights track for the game, like that. And so you can see here it says backlights 100. That's because I just added that in through code. So normally you would have to come in here, you'd have to like scrub the song, and then there's all the audio and stuff, and there's a way you can click, I don't even remember how to get to it. I think it's tab maybe. Yeah, you can go to tab and you can do an auto mapper for the lights and like generate some lights. But that whole process is pretty long because you have to, because once you do that, let's say I've completed my mission here or whatever, so I've got lights, right? And then you go back, um, and then you come back to the main thing, and then you have to do that for each song. You have to go in and hit the lights button, and then you have to create a zip file, okay, which is this, okay. And then this you have to transfer over to the headset, the Quest. So, um, but you have to do this for every difficulty. So like once you've generated a song, if you generate 4 difficulties, you have to go into this program and go into each individual thing, open the editor, do the mapping button thing, save and exit. And then once you've done all of them, you can create a zip. But I don't know, it takes too long. And I'm not even super happy with the auto one because like it doesn't have backlights and stuff. So enter programming. So this is a program called um, Py, PyCharm, and it's for Python programming. And all you need to know about that is um, I'm using this to take these files that are here, the expert, the hard, etc., and I can read them in, and then I can print what they are. Because if I take one of these and edit it with a notepad, it looks like this, which is a cluster. But importantly, the stuff I'm editing, like those lights, those are saved in this file, somewhere in this file. And I can't read this because this is garbage, right? So what I do instead is I come in here, I put in the file, I open it, and I read it in. And so if I run this, So this is that same file. It's just on a single line here, but you can see it's printed out, which is not super useful on its own. However, what's very cool about it is I can now do something like I've formatted this basically into a dictionary in programming, which means if I do something like keys, well, now I can see version, events, notes, all of this, okay? And so notes are what I get from the AI that generates the song for me. That's where I swing and do the hits. And events are actually the lights. So if I come into here and I say, okay, give me the, actually I already have one. So yeah, so let me comment that out. So if I say, give me the events, well, these are the lights that we were setting in that program. Now this format is pretty simple. It's a time, okay? It's a type of light. It's um, a value for essentially like the color, I guess, of the light, and then it's a float value, which is the intensity of the light. All that really matters is that we can now read this. Can read this and I can modify it, right? So I can, knowing that I've got this, right, I can start changing this programmatically because again, I don't have, remember when I start off, before I've used all those other programs, what I end up with is just the notes, right? So I have time, um, the cut directions and stuff for the notes, and that's all fine. But what's cool is, what if, right? I say for note in the dictionary notes, and then I'm gonna say um, let's just print uh, note, because I think that'll make this a little easier to understand what I'm trying to do. Okay, so bam. Now this is human readable. I can see this is every note that gets hit, and more importantly, I've got the times here. So if I take those notes, right, and then I loop through each of them, I can say, okay, well, I know I want to create an event, right? So what if, for example, I do, let's take the events, okay, and dot, can I clear? I actually can't remember. I haven't had to use a dictionary in a while. Let's see if this breaks. It didn't. Okay, that's very exciting. So now, if I um, print, and we'll say uh, events, okay, and I'll put some lines on it like this, and then I'll say print our new events. Oh, why did I have caps on? Whoops. Okay, and then I'll say print end events. So the reason is so that in this printout we can see what's happening, okay? And actually, I'll just, we'll comment this out for now, um, and I'll just write pass so we don't do anything. Okay, so now we've got the original, in fact, we can even do it like this. So we've got the original events here, right, with our type, our value, our intensity, okay? And then I've deleted all of them. Why would I do that? Well, now when we run this and we have all those events with all those times, because this is like what the real file would be, I could say, okay, Well, what if for every note that's in the song, um, I want to make a new entry. So um, add a key and let's see. How do I do this actually? When I print the full thing, let's do this. Let's do print gdict dot items. I don't remember what it said before, so we're just gonna do this real quick. So what? It's on a pass. It shouldn't be running any of that code. Are you kidding me? All right. So this is what the items look like. It says events is nothing, and then it says notes. So it has notes, and then it has a list and an array of things inside of that list, which are in these curly brackets. Cool. Why does that matter? Well, so what if we do nodes, or in this case, we'll do events. Okay, and then we're going to add to that. So for every item, actually, let's move this out. So every time there's a note, I want to take the note, the initial part of that note. So I want just the time, right? So if I'm getting just the time, let's see, what if I do note 0 and we print that? Key error 0 because it is treating them as a dictionary as well. Okay, so it's a nested dictionary. Cool. So we'll print time. Bam, we've got all the times. Okay, so now we can add an event at all of those times, right? Because I've got this, and then I've got this, which is seemingly an array of time. So it's time to that is the dictionary entry. And then we'll need the rest of this, right? Because we need our type, we need our value, and our float. So what we could write here is, if I use this as an example, um, let's see, we've got for each time, we're going to, we'll call this event list. I'm going to make an empty, set here, and then I'll say this is a good set. And I'll say event list plus equals, maybe? I'm a little fuzzy on if I can do this or not, but we'll find out. We'll print an event list at the end and see if how did I get brackets on there? I don't even know. Okay. So if I run this right now, we should just get this a billion times. Unoperate. Okay, so we need to event list dot extend. And so this is going to say add this to the event list. Dictionary doesn't have an extend. Really? Why not? Can I just add it? what can you do with the dictionary? Okay, let's see. Python dictionary methods. So let's look at that. Python dictionary methods. We'll go here, update. Okay, so we're going to use update. That looks good. So we'll do update. Okay. Bam. Okay, so we added this. Um, but it's not going to replace itself because this time entry like kind of already exists. If we look up here though, we can see that's actually like a list of those. So I think what I really want is I want this to be a list and I want this to be an append. Okay. And now you can see I've added in these dictionaries a whole bunch of times. Okay, it should be the same length as this. In fact, we can run dot actually len, which is going to tell me the length. Okay, and so we have 247 that we've added. Okay, because 247 notes in the song. So now, knowing that we're doing that, and we're very pleased with it, now we can update this because we have note time, right? So now let's say we'll call this event time is going to be the return of note time. And then where I have time here, we'll put event time. Now, if I run this and print it again, you can see we've got time 3 and time 6, time 7. Okay, so this is looking like something. But next, you can see on here we've got the same time, right? And then we've got different lights happening at those times, right? We've got this value, which corresponds to with the light is turning on or off. We've got this, which is the type of light, because if you remember in our level over here, we've actually got all of these different types of lights that can be happening. And so, you know, all of that corresponds in here. Now, I probably don't need most of this stuff, but I do at the very least need to change the type, and I will also need to change, well, maybe the values and stuff, but for now, so let's see if we can find that real quick. So this is BeatSaber light number, maybe? Static event system. Okay. So no, not really what I want. No, still not it. Okay, here we go. So this is basically kind of telling me what I want. It's basically on or off. No, let's see if this has it. Okay, here we go. Events 0 to 9, which is going to correspond to, I believe, those lights. And then this first value briefly flashes brighter and then fades off. So I'm thinking on is gonna turn it on, and then fade is gonna turn it off. So maybe it's something like, and we can probably see that in the program, right? If we go in here. So these are fades, right? You can see that it's at 100 and then it's got the black. That means it's fading. So that's a type of 4. And so if I go back into programming, or not a type, but a value, and if I go through here, it's type 4. And these are all values 0. That's interesting. So that's saying the lights are going to stay on. But I feel like the lights turn off a lot. Type 13. Okay, well, have to experiment with that. Point is, the types, I think I need to add in, let's say 7 times or something. So for each of these, so let's see, for I in, I just call it iter. Actually, that's probably bad. For in, how do I do this? For I in range 0 to 7, let's do 8. We're going to append an event list, but this time we're going to make this I. So what this is going to say is missing a white space. Does that really matter? It should add, like here we just have the same time changing, but we have the same type, right? So now if I run this again, what we get is the time and then every light added. So now I've got lights all the way across. I probably don't want that, but it's just a starting point to kind of understand how this is working. And then we need to figure out how we kind of fade these out, which to my knowledge it's this, so it should be 0, 1, 2, 3, I believe. And if we get back into this guy and check that, and then somehow there's a way to view so these are the lights we have happening right now. But I thought there was a way I had seen before where you could like actually open, like kind of open this whole thing up and see the code for that very specific thing. So camera placements. I just want to see. Node editor. So if I hit N, here we go. So these, whoops, we need to click off. Okay. How am I still editing two objects? Okay, so we've got type as set to 4. Well, that's interesting. Because this is the backlights, right? I actually don't know what I have selected right now, and that's terrifying. Um, oh, okay, so 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is center lights. Okay, that's why. So if we turn this off, we turn this off, and we grab this and hit N, type 0 is our backlight. Okay, so yeah, we want each of those. And then if we look at this, we can see value 7 seems to be doing the fade. Now I don't know why. I don't know why it's a 7. But apparently 7 is fade. That's what we're learning. Okay, so we want value to be 7, I think, for all of these. Okay, so if we run this, now we can go up here. We're printing all of our events, and then we're printing way too many things actually. Here, let's turn this off. Okay, so we've cleared our events, so we have no events, and now we are adding all of these events to it, and then we're printing our output here. So we're printing the items as well. Let's see where am I printing the items? Do you see a dot items? Ah, this one. Let's take that off. Okay, run it again. Cool. So now we've got our events cleared, and then we've made these, and now we can see that we have made every single light turn on all the time. Which is, again, so it's going to look like, it's basically going to look like this in the file. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is what we actually count up to. And so if we go to the very bottom, our very last entry is a 7, so we can do this as a 10. Whoops. Boost lights. So we probably don't need boost lights. I don't really know what those do. We're going to leave those off for the moment. So we're turning on everything else. So that's fine. And they're all fading lights. So now, taking that, we should be able to take this and do event list. Okay. And then if we print our new dictionary, the very end here, we have our custom data, we have our cut direction, which we're expecting, and then we have our all of our lights here, which are all our different light types. So just counting up to 7, basically, or counting up to 8 should be. Okay, so yeah, here's type 8, and then it counts over at type 0, and it does that for every time. So it's going to be very, very bright in the game. But that's exciting because now we have taken lights and we have basically automatically just generated a baseline set of lights. So a song that doesn't have any lights we magically have lights now um, in this new dictionary, right? And so now the final thing we need to do is if I set that to read write, uh, create read write. Okay, so if I open it as write, no. Okay, so I have to open the file as read. Oh, it's so mad now. What did I do? Uh, oh, because I think I just deleted the file actually. Um, I think if we go look at the file, what is this? Is senses fail, can't be saved. Okay, yeah, so programming's scary. So as you can see, I actually just deleted that file. Didn't mean to do that. That was very sad. Um, I will have to remake. Well, I've got the download for it, so somewhere. But I may have to remake that song, but that's okay. Let's switch to the expert file, which still exists. Okay. And so now we've got all our custom data and stuff in here. Very exciting. And we've got our new times. Okay. So what we want to do is store this as, I think this whole thing's a dictionary. Actually looks like a list, kind of. Um, yeah, it actually does look like a list, right? So we're gonna make, actually we're gonna do something here. I'm gonna just do type to figure out what this actually is, because I don't want to delete everything again, right? So it says it's a dictionary. Okay. So what we're gonna do. We're gonna do new dictionary. Okay. And that's just gonna be an empty dictionary. Okay. And then we'll go here, and now we'll say new dictionary equals this. Okay. Why is that important? Well, now I can take this same file again and I can do a read on it or a write on it, I guess. So we'll do with open again and we'll say write and then we'll say file dot write. Okay, and we're gonna put new dictionary. Okay, so this is either gonna work or it's gonna be absolutely tragic, and I'll have to, redo everything from scratch, but that's okay. So right now it's 109 kilobytes, and when I run this, in theory, it will be a lot bigger. If it's 0, we're gonna be sad. So run that. Write argument must be string, not dictionary. Okay, we did destroy it. So let's turn this into a string. And then let's let's see if I have a copy of that. So this is can't be saved. I have can't be saved here with the original file. So here's what we'll do is we'll delete. This is the one I just broke, right? Yeah. We'll delete that. It's fine. And then we'll take this. We'll extract it to a folder. And Now we've got our files back. Okay. And I'm just gonna run it again. Okay, nothing exploded. And this is now 329 kilobytes. So that's massive, right? That's significantly larger. And if we edit this, we're gonna see reload it. Okay, yeah, look at all of the stuff that's in here. And again, I don't even know if I wrote this out correctly. I mean, it looks like there's some extra spacing in there, maybe. There's probably even a JSON dump is what I actually need. So let's try it this way. I'm gonna, instead of doing the file write, I'm gonna do JSON dump, and it's got the object, and it's got a bunch. So let's Google that. I want to make sure I write this out correctly. So object. Okay. Okay, so we're going to dump or we can do write with JSON dumps on that data. Okay. So, oh, actually, okay, that's even better. Nice. Pew, pew, pew. Cool. So let's try that, because I didn't love what that looked like. So we're just gonna do this. Our data is called new dictionary. We have file and that. So that all looks good. And actually, I think, I don't know if I need dump or dump s, because it is kind of a string. But because I wrote it out that way, I think it's probably better because I wrote it in as a string. So I'm gonna do it like that. File path, okay. So let's try this on the hard version. Okay, and let's make sure our formatting looks correct. So okay. So if we edit hard mode here, you can see we've just got this, we have no events in here at all. It's just the cuts. Okay, and it looks like this when we open it. It looks very, you know, it's okay. So now if I run this on hard and we do that and we run, dumps takes one positional argument, but two arguments were given. really. Is that dream? Okay, and we deleted it again. Eventually I'll stop deleting it, but what happens if I just do a regular dump then? Just to see. Okay, and I couldn't decode it because we deleted it, which is fine. Okay, so same thing. Let me just grab that, delete that. This will be fast. Okay, extract to a folder, run. Okay, we got a good print that time. So, should have something in here called can't be saved. Oh no, that's the zip file. We need. Wait, where? Am I blind? I wrote out this file, so it exists. Let's sort by name. There it is. Okay, so hard it was 34 before, and it's 23 now, and that looks, I believe that looks correct, right? So if we look at another, this is a basic one. You see it starts with that curly breaks, and then go down to the bottom here, it ends with this. And if we look at this one, we start with the curly brace. If we go to the end, it ends with this one. It doesn't have any events in it or obstacles because it's a very simple one. So if we do the same thing here, we edit this. Okay, we have our version, events is blank, and then we have notes. And it just ends with this line. So in theory, we can run this on expert. Okay, and we can see it's much bigger now, which is good. We reload, and it looks like we added our events, and we still have our ending that looks the same. So theoretically, that worked. We just automatically generated lights for the song without having to open this program or anything like that. So let's test it now, right? Because we wrote that out. Okay, so exit, yada yada. So if we go back and we find can't be saved, okay, and then if we open the editor, and there it is. Okay, so a couple of problems that we're seeing. One, I don't know what 0 is, but there's like a 0. It's like offset. So maybe we don't start at 0. We are just grabbing our basic lights, which is kind of cool. So we need to shift all of this over a little bit, but you can see, let's play it. So every time there's a note, we're getting like, epilepsy happening, which is not ideal, but it is something. So let's go back, okay, refresh this song list, and then I'm gonna run this again. And this time we're gonna change our note range from 1. It went to 8, so I don't know, we can change it to like 14 or something probably. Okay. And so again, this is on expert. Okay, so I'm gonna rerun the expert. Okay, refresh this. And now if we double check our work in here, we have a lot of notes. We have a lot of notes, and for some reason, now we lost our 0. Okay, so we did need 0. The 14 took us up way too far, I'm sure. And so this is going to mean the backlights never come on. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so what did we learn here? We do want this to be 0. 14 was too much. I don't know. 10. I don't care. Maybe it's 12. Again, doesn't matter. And yeah, that looks fine. So we'll run that. Cool. Refresh. Refresh. Okay. Open expert. Oh, that's a different song. That's probably why it's not working. This is called Can't Be Saved. Okay, so we'll open this editor and 12 there. Okay, so we do need 14 on it. But we've got our backlights again. So now that's a lot of lights happening, isn't it? Okay, so, but you see how this is cool? Like, I'm generating all of this stuff without having to actually go into these, right? So once I have my formula set up in the code here, I can just run it, and I can run it on the entire folder structure. So every song I have, I can just generate, 100 of these at once in a loop, just like we're looping right here for every note. I can do that with the file opens, and I can actually loop all of the files in a folder instead of giving it the path. And then here's what I want to do. I'm going to do this 1 to 14, okay? Now check this out. I'm then going to say, I'm going to take this same stuff, okay? But I'm going to do an event list append at the very beginning. I'm going to say it's at time 0. Its type is 0, okay? And its value is 0, okay? And its float value is 3. I'm kind of just guessing at this. So this is saying, hey, make one backlight, turn it on in the beginning. It's always on, and then the other lights are going to be event lights. Okay, so we'll write this out. Cool. We'll go back, refresh this, and so let's see. Okay, so now we've got this going all the way across, and we have just one. What is this? This looks like it's off, doesn't it? Type 0 and value 0. Maybe we don't like that. We know type is 0 for sure, but what is our value? Value is I thought it was just going to be, well, we said fade is 7, right? light number, fade 7. Um, I need very much to know what I'm looking at. I kind of assume, okay, this is brightness. Oh, so, okay, wait, is that right? Um, okay, so value, I don't know what float value is then. Let's do float value that. Let's do 3. Like, what does that do? We're just gonna start typing numbers and see what happens in here. Okay, so close this, exit, don't save anything. Okay, I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna refresh. I don't know if I have to do that, but feel better about it. Okay, so what we put in there is a fade now. Don't want to fade. So maybe a 1. So let's try that. Let's go back. I'm gonna also see if I can just auto load this, right? So I'm gonna run this, okay, and then I'm gonna open. This will be sick if it works. That didn't work. Okay, exit. No, so it's still got it in memory, so we need to go back here. We need to reload. We need to do this, this. Okay, there it is. It's a full light and it's set to 100. Okay, 100 is bad. If I take this and look at it, right, float value 3. Oh, that's 300. That's very bad. Okay, we don't want that. So what is 0.3? Can we do a float? There it is, 30%. Okay. So now, okay, that's better. Okay, so we've turned all the lights to 100, which again, probably too much. So let's turn all of those to there and let's do 35% on the lighting for this. Okay. And now we'll exit this. We'll go back. We'll go back. Refresh. Can't be saved. And open. All right, and now we have a 35% light and a bunch of 80% fades. So, why are those blue? I don't know why they're blue. And I thought those were like the backlights or something. Okay, so there's a lot happening, and I really thought that the backlights was what I wanted. Maybe it's center lights. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try this again. Let's go here and let's say, I don't know the best way to do this exactly, but I'm I'm gonna just copy this and I'm gonna say your type is, what did we count to? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know why this is up. So we're gonna make that a 4. And then we're gonna do we're gonna do 1, 2, 4. I'm just gonna skip it. And then we'll do it a second time, right? So I'm gonna write 2 ranges here. And this range is gonna start at 5 and then go to 14. Okay. So now we're gonna go back and we're gonna go here and we're gonna do can't be saved and open editor and okay, so we've got 2 lights, right? And so now we've got the windows on. I don't know why they're blue, and I don't know why it's only the windows. I feel like there should be more lights, right? Like, why is it only some windows and not like anything else? Because this is what it looks like when you're playing. It's kind of weird, right? I kind of wanted like some whole, like background stuff. Maybe it's the level that it's loading though. I don't know. Um, okay. Well, anyway, but the point is, like, we're getting somewhere. We're making some progress. And so now I can do things, right? Like we had a lot of lasers coming up. So I'll probably write something that says, if these values, right? Like this is 373 point or 370 and then 373. That's probably okay. That's like a 3-second interval. But something like this where it's 3, it's like a not even a half second in between. So I can write some code that says, well, if the timing is too close together, don't generate a note there, right? And so then, and we have a longer fade. So basically, I'm going to write, I guess the whole point of this, I'm going to write an auto lighting system for a whole batch of songs. And then I can just generate all the AI songs that I want offline or online. I can download all of them, and then I can just run this on the entire folder at once, and boom, I'll have lights that I'm happy about without having to go in here and hit the auto mapper. Because like I said, I have to go into each one of these individually. I have to open it, wait for the loading. Then I have to hit this, then I have to hit this, then I have to hit this. And then it fails. And that's, oh, because you have to uncheck that. And then you check that. And then it generates this. And what the problem is here is like, if you notice, like the backlights aren't even on. Like there's basically no lighting happening. It's dark the whole time. And it's got some cool events as far as like the side to side stuff. So, I don't hate the auto mapper. I think it's kind of cool actually. I might write something that does that based on the note color. Like if it's a blue note over here, I can, turn on the right, lasers. And if it's a red note, I can turn on the left. Um, so basically, I'm gonna write this. This is my new project I've decided on for the next week. And we'll see where we end up. But it's fun just to code. And also look at this. I mean, this is not, if we take out all these prints and things that we're not using, we take out all of this that we're not using. This that we're not using, like, I don't even need to be printing that anymore. This is the code. Like, we're completely modifying all the lights in an entire song just with these couple lines of code. So that's why I like code's super fun. It's super powerful. Um, and yeah, I hope this was informative. I didn't mean for it to go on for an hour. Oh my God. Terribly sorry. That's not going to go through WhatsApp. I don't know how to even send this to you. Anyway, ta-da.